The following video is sponsored in part by A Hodo Ass. We're not ashamed to ask.
Hello and welcome to the first episode of Bar Beer Reviews. I thought I would help you out with reviews of bars I visit. I have been to some bars in my life, but I have never reviewed them before, so go easy on me, haha. I don't know a lot about bars, but the first thing I saw when I walked up was the bar's sign. Good start, I thought to myself. But when I went inside, I saw a whole van, and I thought to myself, am I in a parking garage? But the guy sitting there didn't seem worried. Then another guy came and asked the same question, so I didn't feel so bad. Turning the corner, I saw a wall and a bunch of beer spouts. Now I felt like I was in the right place. But then once again, trouble happens, a skateboard is in my seat. But then I saw it is a beer-themed skateboard. Haha, a prank. I realized I'm cool with that. Finally, the main event, I ordered a beer. The glass was short and stout like Santa, but the beer inside was yellow. I tried drinking half of it, but it was a really new flavor to me. This is not your daddy's Budweiser, the bartender proudly proclaimed. I quickly hid the glass behind that van that was parked next to me so he would think I drank it all. I thought the best idea would be to order another beer, but when I looked at the menu, I realized none of these beers were beers I had ever heard of. So when the bartender came over, I just mumbled my words a little so that he would seem to think I was cool, and it must have worked because he went over and got me another beer without suspecting a thing. Unfortunately, it seemed like luck was against me tonight, cause this beer tasted just like the first one and was not like a beer I've ever tasted before. So, running out of ideas, I thought it might be a good idea to just let it warm up a little and maybe it would bring out the flavor. It seemed like the best idea at the time. The night was not done with me yet though. Now a band came on and started to play. They didn't sound like any kind of music I've heard before, so my best guess is that maybe they were local college students who hadn't learned their instruments yet, which made me feel a little bad for them, but then I realized I'm supporting them, so I did start to like the concert a little more then. Another strange thing that happened was a guy in his bathing suit came and laid down in front of the band, which seemed a little rude, but I am not one to throw stones. Maybe he had just come from swimming a long distance. I tried not to judge him. The guy who was guarding the door, he didn't seem to think it was anything to be worried about, so I took my cue from him. When in Rome, I said to myself. By now, my beer had gotten a little warmer, so when somebody next to me wasn't looking, I switched it with their beer so I could try a different beer. I figured they would like mine better anyway, and they didn't seem to notice. But ultimately, this was also a bad experiment because I didn't like this beer much either. I didn't really know what flavor it was supposed to be. And then I got worried that maybe the person whose beer I had switched, maybe they had put drugs in it, so I should be more careful, so I just left it sit there. The man in a bathing suit eventually got up and started to dance, so I felt a little better about that too. Finally, at the end of the night, they gave me a beer I could live with, and I called it a day for my first day on the job as a beer reviewer guy. What a great bar after all.